Hello friends, welcome back to the shop. Today is Sunday, December 10th, and we got some snow here in southeastern Pennsylvania. We got the first snowfall of the season last night, and if you look at the patio furniture out back, we got about 4 inches. But the sidewalks were so warm that really very little accumulated that had to be moved this morning. I think at most there was maybe a ½ inch on the sidewalks. Also, the winds have been pretty high, so they've been blowing it away, and the temperatures are in the 40s today. So basically it was snow that probably would have just taken care of itself if I left it alone, but I still went out and cleared everything off. So, you know, good fun. That's how I spent some time this morning. So it's a little bit later than I usually make this video, but I'm happy that I'm able to make one and share some time with you all. So the pipe I'm going to smoke today, and I'll tell you a bit about why I chose this pipe as I get it ready, but it is one of my LL Bean pipes. And the reason I chose this pipe is that if you saw Matches 860, John's video this past Friday, he had the opportunity to smoke some LL Bean tobacco, and I thought that was really neat. And he talked about the LL Bean pipe, so I figured I'd get mine out, dust it off, and talk a little bit about it. And I got a special tobacco to smoke in it as well. So those of you that have seen my restoration series on this LL Bean pipe know that it's got this very unusual stinger system. That it's basically a tube, and then I don't know if you can see or not, but there's 2 notches underneath, or 2 holes underneath that tube, and that is a filter system that I was kind of skeptical of, but as I started using it, I kind of started to enjoy it. So this is just a regular straight pipe cleaner, and what you do is you bend it in half to make a U shape, like so, U or V or whatever you want to call it, and then one end of the pipe cleaner slides into each of those holes and comes all the way down to be even with that tube. So the idea is the tube has a slot in the bottom of it. Moisture condenses in the tube as you're smoking. It falls out and is absorbed by the pipe cleaner. It actually seems to work pretty well enough that I've, most pipes that I own that came with stingers, the stingers are long gone. But this is one that I really felt that it was worth keeping. And you just have to make sure that the draw isn't too tight. Sometimes that pipe cleaner can go in a little bit too far and it impedes the draw. But this is fine. So what I'm going to be smoking today is Lane Limited Ready Rubbed. And this is a really interesting tobacco. So the reason I picked this, and I think many of you know about this, other folks have done reviews of it. The reason I picked it is, once again, going to John's video on Friday. He talked about the LL Bean pipes, but he smoked original LL Bean tobacco, which was actually original Edgeworth Ready Rubbed. Now, Ready Rubbed is, or Edgeworth Ready Rubbed is an old tobacco, from early 1900s, I think pre-1910 actually. I don't remember the exact date that I looked up earlier today. Might have been 1903. And it was another tobacco from Laurus Brothers, which is the company that blended Holiday Mixture that I talked about recently. And ultimately, Lane acquired the rights to Edgeworth Ready Rubbed, and they made it up until 2010, at which point they somehow, and I don't know the details of this, but they somehow lost rights to the name Edgeworth Ready Rubbed. So it disappeared for a while, and recently, in the past few years, it's reemerged as Lane Limited Ready Rubbed. And I've had the good fortune to get a sample of the original Edgeworth, the original Lane version of Edgeworth. And this was sent to me by my friend Tim Thorpe, pipe maker Tim Thorpe, who makes some very nice pipes. You should check him out. And he also apparently has very good taste in tobacco, because the original Edgeworth was just fantastic. And I decided to try the Lane when it was actually gifted to me as well. Let me get this lit. So the Lane version was sent to me by a friend on one of the pipe smoking forums, and I got this just last week actually, and was very excited to try it. The early reviews of this that I saw really focused on the toppings, talked about the cocoa and the molasses and all that, and I was thinking, well, it's a Lane aromatic, I'm probably not going to like that very much, and so I avoided it because it was only available in these 12 or 14 ounce tubs, and I wasn't going to buy a 12 or 14 ounce tub of an aromatic blend without trying it. I don't know if these pouches are available or if this was some sort of a promotional or something, but because I hadn't seen them. Sorry, having a bit of lighter problems here. So I was fortunate enough to actually get to smoke the Lane Limited Ready Rubbed side by side with the original Edgeworth Lane Ready Rubbed, and I could not tell the difference between them. They are, in my opinion, identical tobaccos. Now, I can't say that the Lane version of Edgeworth Ready Rubbed was like the Lawrence Brothers version, because obviously I've never had that. It's not been around for a very long time. But this Lane Limited Ready Rubbed is really good stuff. So it's burley. Predominantly white burley. When I smoke white burley, I get a sort of a musty bitterness off of it. It's not unpleasant, but that's sort of like the high note on the blend. But then it has those deep burley notes that you want from a good burley tobacco. I don't detect anything but burley. I don't think there's any Virginia in this, but the cut on it is, hopefully you can see some of that. It's a very coarse cut. It's got some cube in it, but it's mostly just very coarse cut. Not much ribbon in it at all. The pouch note is burley. Now the toppings on this are, according to the internet, cocoa and molasses. And I can maybe pull out a little bit of cocoa. I'm not getting any molasses, and I'm not getting any of the chemical-like flavors from American style aromatics. This to me is just a straight burley blend that maybe has a bit of topping on it, but it's barely detectable topping. And I've really been enjoying this since I got the pouch last week. To be honest, and I hate to say this because it may come back to bite me, but I think I actually prefer this to Carter Hall. It's just a cleaner, more natural burley flavor, and it's good. It's smooth, it's pleasant, there's no bite, there's no harshness to it. So if you like burley, I highly recommend you try this stuff. And if you haven't tried one of these LL Bean pipes, Matt just said they're hard to find. They are not as common as they were a few years ago, but eBay has them. You're not going to find one for $5. You're going to be paying $20 to $30 for one of these pipes, mostly because of the historic value. LL Bean pipe is kind of a cool thing, especially if you're an outdoorsman at all. But boy, that stinger, I don't like stingers, but this one just really does a nice job of keeping things cool and dry. And while this is not LL Bean tobacco, I feel like I've reunited the pipe with its original blend, because the LL Bean tobacco was the Edgeworth Ready Rubbed. So as close as I'm going to get to having a reunion of that sort, and it's good. So, shop news. Been very busy. I had a lot of pipes. Sent a couple out last week, and I got a couple more to finish up this week. I do plan to have everything done. So if I have your pipe, and there's only 2 that are outstanding right now, it'll be done by the end of this coming week and back in the mail to you. And then after this coming Friday, I'm on vacation. And I'm going to actually take a vacation from the shop as well. So I'm going to shut down work for 2 weeks and just, spend time with my wife and do Christmas stuff. I may work on some personal projects, but I'm not going to be doing any customer work for 2 weeks. And then in January we'll reopen again. So if you have any things that you'd like to any pipes that you would like to have repaired or refurbished or whatever, you can go over to Cane Rod Pipes. You can get in touch with me. I will be answering emails at canerodpipes.com. But I'm not going to be doing any work for 2 weeks, so there'll be a delay in terms of actually getting the work done. So beyond that, I'm hoping to use some of that 2 weeks time to get things a little bit cleaned up and organized here, because it's been the past month has just been very hectic, and I've got a mess in front of me here that just needs to be organized. It's not bad. It's just, when you're working on 3 different pipes at the same time, you don't take the time to put tools away, and the tools start to pile up, and then you can't find things. So got to deal with that. The amazing thing about this pipe is that it cools off the tobacco so effectively that you almost don't feel like you're smoking. It's almost like you're just getting flavor, very little heat, and zero moisture. So it's a cool little invention. It's a shame it didn't catch on, because I think a lot of guys would like it. And it's much easier to, if you think about it, it's brilliant, because everybody has pipe cleaners. When you use filters, you got to go and buy the filters, and it's another thing you got to worry about. But everybody's got pipe cleaners, so it's very easy to stuff one in there, and it works great. Well, folks, I do believe that's about all that I have to talk about today, so I won't hold you all up any longer. You can get on with your Sundays and on with your week. I hope you're having a good one. I hope the weather's good in your part of the world, and if there's snow out there, I hope that you're at least able to enjoy the things that snow brings. So I will be back next weekend, taking a break from the shop, but not from videos, so you'll still hear from me. So I wish you all the best. Take care of yourselves, and until we speak again, I will look forward to talking to you all again very soon. Goodbye now.